Hi guys, this is Market Mind. So today I'll be showing you a trade recap on USDCAD right here on the 4 hours time frame. And this particular trade right here, I had already explained something similar in my recent videos on TikTok right here. So if you scroll back to on my page, you're going to see the video of this explanation on USDCAD. And this is the trade right here. Can you see? So this particular trade right here is very similar to something that happened right here, and I use the same technique. So this is basically me doing the same thing again and again. Can you see? This is USDCAD 4 hours time frame. Let me take you back on the first one right here. It started from the daily time frame. If you go back to the daily time frame right here, the daily time frame. So can you see the daily time frame? Right here, as usual, we have the daily, reject daily right here. So after this daily, reject daily, the next thing is to go to 4 hours time for a breakout. Right? So going to 4 hours time frame, we had a breakout right here. Can you see? We had a breakout right here. And then the entry is supposed to be at the apex as usual. And remember, I told you once you are picking the apex entry, there has to be some alignment of that your entry on the higher time frame. So for example, you are picking the apex entry here, it must be aligning with the key level on the higher time frame that you are coming from, which is the daily time frame, right? So but in this case, the apex does not have any alignment on the higher time frame. So that was the reason why I picked this particular RBS right here, aligning with this QM. Can you see? That was exactly what I used as entry. If you check my previous video, I explained this particular trade there. And then you would see on the daily time frame, the 4 hours level I picked, the 4 hours level I picked on the 4 hours time on the daily time frame is a support. Can you see? It's aligning perfectly with the daily. So basically, that was the reason why I used that level, because it's in alignment with a daily support. Can you see? Price tapped into that level, and then we're targeting the previous high right there, and then it completed the range right there. So this same thing, this same scenario, especially this same entry type, could you see? Can you see now? Something like this repeated itself again on USDCAD, and not long. Can you see the structure right here? Now compare it with this structure. Can you see? Same structure right here, and this trade right here are what I post on my Telegram channel. I call it live on my Telegram channel. You're going to see it here. Can you see? Can you see the trade right here? Same thing right here. That was September 18. Can you see? Right here. So you can join my Telegram channel if you want to get my trade bias from live from the beginning. So this is right here. So just type Market Mind Academy, just Market Mind Academy on Telegram. That's going to take you there. So perhaps that's the trade right here, and it has completed the range right now. So how did I go about this particular one right here? Let me show you. This did not start from the daily time frame, but it started from the weekly time frame. So now let's see from the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame right here, can you see? This is the trade breakdown. I have this rejection right here. So can you see this RBS rejection? Price rejected this RBS on the weekly time frame. And remember, after rejection, the next thing is to go to one time frame lower for your breakout. Very simple and very clean. You don't need to stress it out. Rejection, breakout, then enter the apex. You just need to see everything has to be clear, everything has to align. So you don't need to trade what you're not confident on, right? And you need to be very patient with it. So now let's see now the next thing, going to daily time frame for a breakout. Can you see this is the rejection, and then we have a breakout already. So having our breakout already, the next thing is to pick the entry from the apex. Can you see? Picking the entry from the apex. So one thing, it doesn't matter if your apex is fresh or not fresh. Some people ask that kind of question, is your apex fresh or stuff like that. So it doesn't matter, right? So this is the apex right there, and then we have price come directly back into this apex. So the next thing is, this is area time frame, this is daily time frame. You don't want to take a trade directly from the daily time frame. You want to wait for more confirmation, right? Because you're coming from the weekly time frame, so you can't just take your entry from the, that's going to make your stop loss very wide. So you want to wait for more rejections, right? So the next thing is you wait for rejections again, which is the daily reject daily, right? So after the daily reject daily again, the next thing is to go to 4 hours time frame for a breakout. And then going to your 4 hours time frame, can you see? Very similar stuff, very similar structure to what it gave right here. Can you see? almost the same structure, and price used this. Can you see? But then in this case, price went as far as this is almost even taking me out. Right? Can you see? It almost take out the trade right here. So the next thing is, can you see I used the RBX again? Why did I use the RBX right here? Because of its alignment, right? And take note, when you are taking trades like this, your stop loss must always be below this protected low right here. It must always be below the rejection low, right? So can you see price did not tap into the stop loss? So I used this RBS. Why did I use this RBS as my entry? Because it has alignment. So can you see on the daily time frame, the RBS entry was also in aligned with the daily support, just as this was also in aligned with the daily support. Can you see? The same thing. And then when you go to the weekly time frame also, it is also in alignment with the weekly support. So can you see that is a high probability trade? So it is very, very easy, very clear for you to know definitely this thing is going to like so you know this is going to be like a certain stuff already. You know, this is definitely going to take a buy. You know, you get a bias already. Can you see coming from weekly time frame, then we're going to 4 hours time frame. In fact, you can go lower to like 1 hour time frame, 30-minute time frame to look for entries, since you got the bias right already. So the next thing is just to look for continuation entries when you get the entry technique already. When you understand entry technique, you know, to like continue looking for entries. Can you see I posted it right there? USDCAD, that is where we are heading. How fast or how slow is not asked to decide. Exactly what I did right here. So price came back right here, and then it already completed the range. Can you see? So it already completed the range. So that's exactly how the trade played out from there. When you go to the 4 hours time frame, you see the structure. Can you see? Now already completed the range. And why was the target here right here? Because of the weekly level. You know, it started from the weekly. So storyline that started from the weekly has to end on the weekly time frame. All right, so when it started from the weekly, pick the entry right here, so it has to end on the weekly time frame. So that was the reason why I placed the target right here on this weekly resistance. So from there I could be expecting probably down trend again, or probably price wants to like break and then continue using that level. Right? Do you get that? So from this you get to understand that one important thing first, you don't need to like rush it. One important thing first is getting to know how to get a bias right. So once you know how to get a bias right, then you know you can now work on your entry techniques. But one important thing first is getting to know the direction of the market. So when you understand the direction of the market, you know the market movement already. So you know, for example, some people right here might just be looking for like, probably I want to continue looking for sales because price tap into this SBR right here. Then you want to continue looking for sales targeting this previous low, but that's not the case, right? Because you already understood the bias, you know definitely price is most likely going to like move up from here. Why? Because of the alignment that you have right there. So I didn't even use trendline in this case, right? You could also use trendline as your confluence to get your trade. It depends on your own trading style, right? We can't have the same trading style, so you don't need to like you don't need to like force out my trading style into your own trading style. So you need to have the way you do yours, right? So I could take my entry from 4 hours time frame, you could take yours from 1 hour, you could wait for more rejections. So when you know how do you do your stuff every time, so that is the exact same thing you want to continue looking out for every time. So you don't need to like incorporate another person's system into your own system. Do you get? So you can like follow me on or subscribe to my channel on YouTube at Market Mind Academy. I already showed you my Telegram channel right there, and then follow this TikTok account for more live or trades updates like this.